Well, it kind of looks like the government has been on an asylum spending spectacular. The show where the taxpayer money disappears faster than the magician's rabbit into your hat. I mean, hold on to your wallets, because the taxpayer bill for asylum has almost doubled in a mere year. That's right, $4 billion, with, of course, Rishi Sunak is here to remind us that the cost is unacceptable. Well done, Rishi. We're all just thrilled to know how displeased you are with this pocket-emptying nightmare. But in the wild world of numbers, £1.85 billion, transforming the budget from a quaint £2.12 billion to the grand spectacular £3.97 billion. It's like watching a budget balloon being inflated until it bursts, showering us with something made out of our hard-earned cash. And no doubt, of course, our bank accounts are crying for the good old days when asylum spending was a mere £500.2 million, back at a time when we were all young and innocent and our wallets were blissfully unaware of the impending financial apocalypse. Let's just talk a little bit about these channel crossings, shall we? I mean, apparently 19,000 people decide to embark on the delightful cruise across the English Channel. Remember when Rishi promised to stop the boats? Because it seems like those boats didn't exactly get the memo, doesn't it? It's like telling a toddler not to touch the cookie jar and then watching them gleefully munch a handful of cookies while making eye contact with you. And let's not forget the delightful statistic. 80% of asylum seekers are twiddling their thumbs for longer than 6 months before they even get initial decision. It's kind of like waiting in the queue for a theme park, isn't it? Except instead of roller coasters, it's like you're stuck in the thrilling adventure of Backlog Land. Although in my opinion, the only back that should be in the title is going back to the safe country of France where they came from. Because they surely can't be fleeing war if they're coming from a safe country, can they? But either way, Mr. Sunak has of course pledged to clear the backlog of around 92,601 legacy cases by the end of 2023. A noble endeavour indeed, yet in a stunning twist that, unsurprisingly of course, hasn't happened. A whopping 175,457 people are apparently waiting for initial decision, and a staggering 44% from last year. It's like watching a breaking records montage in a movie, except of course instead of stunning feats, it's kind of like a parade of paperwork piling up. Labour obviously is swooping in with their commentary as usual, except it does make me wonder just how much the number would have gone up by if they were actually in charge, and I got a feeling that probably would have been by a lot more. But anyway, the article says that the taxpayer bill on asylum almost doubled in a year to nearly £4 billion. As Rishi Sunak said, the cost was unacceptable and warned that the system is under sustainable pressure. Home Office spending on asylum rose by £1.85 billion from £2.12 billion in the year from 21 to 22 to £3.97 billion this year. A decade ago, though, in 2012 to 2013, the total cost to the taxpayer was £500.2 million, and channel crossings topped 19,000 for the year so far. Home Office figures show that despite Mr Sunak's promise to voters that he would stop the boats bringing migrants across the English Channel, about 80% of asylum seekers are waiting longer than 6 months for initial decision, government statistics show. And Mr Sunak has also pledged that by the end of this year to clear the backlog of around 92,601 so-called legacy cases, which has been in the system as of the end of June last year. But in the 6 months since Mr Sunak made the promise, the figure has reduced by less than a quarter, and he told the Daily Express the best way to relieve an unacceptable cost to the taxpayer is to stop the boats in the first place. Well done, why didn't you try to do that, Rishi? Just say no to them all, if they're coming from the safe country of France, and then tell them to fill out the proper paperwork and apply to come here legally. Overall, though, a total of 175,457 people were waiting for initial decision on an asylum application in the UK at the end of June 2023, up 44% from 122,213 for the same period a year earlier, which is the highest figure since records began back in 2010. Of these, 139,961 had been waiting longer than 6 months for an initial decision, up 57% year on year, and 89,231 and another record high. And Labour of course said that the record high asylum backlog amounts to a disastrous record for Mr Sunak and Home Secretary Sunak Braverman, while campaigners called for claims to be processed more efficiently.